Assalamu alaikum students. Maths 4024 exercise 6b question number 10. It is from D3 7th edition. The question is, we have been given with three coordinates P 3 4 Q 3 1 and R is 8 and 4, and we have to show that these three are basically the vertices of a right angle triangle. So we have to prove that this is basically a right angle triangle. The triangle which is given to us is a right angle triangle, and we know that in order to prove a triangle a right angle, we have to prove Pythagoras theorem. So we will be using Pythagoras theorem in this question. And the other part of the question is saying that we have to find the length of the perpendicular from P to QR. So we have to find the length of a perpendicular that starts from P and it ends to QR. So we have to find a perpendicular length as well in this question. So starting with the first part, which is basically a proof of Pythagoras theorem. So what will I do? I know that Pythagoras theorem involves three sides, hypotenuse, perpendicular and base. So I have to find the length of three sides. And in order to find the length of three sides, I have to apply length formula or the distance formula. So since I have three sides P, Q and R, I have plotted them on a graph roughly. This is my point P. It is 3 on the x-axis and 4 on the y-axis. This is my point Q, that is 3 on the x-axis and 1 on the y-axis. And this is my point R, which is 8 on the x-axis and 4 on the y-axis. So first of all, I will be going on with the three sides. I have to find the length of the three sides, and since I have to prove the Pythagoras theorem, so I will not be using the square root formula. I will just be taking square on this side. So there will be no square root sign on the other side. So starting with the length of PQ, since P is the first point, so this is x1 and y1, and Q is the second point, so this is x2 and y2. So x2 minus x1 will be 3 minus 3 whole square, plus y2 minus y1 will be 1 minus 4 whole square. 3 minus 3 whole square is 0, 0 square is 0, and 1 minus 4 is basically minus 3, and the square of minus 3 is 9. Moving on with the next side, that is PR. This is my point P and this is my point R. So since P is the first point, so this is x1, this is y1, and R is the second point, this is x2 and y2. x2 minus x1 means 8 minus 5 whole square, plus y2 minus y1 means 4 minus 4 whole square. 4 minus 4 is 0. 0 square is 0. 8 minus 3 is 5, and 5 square is 25. The third and the final side, QR. Q is the first point, so this is x1 and y1. R is the second point, so this is x2 and y2. x2 minus x1 will be 8 minus 3 whole square, plus this is y2 and this is y1, so 4 minus 1 whole square. 8 minus 5 whole square is 25, plus 4 minus 1 is 3, and 3 square is 9, which add up to 34. So since I have drawn the diagram, I can clearly see that QR is basically the hypotenuse. So, and out of these three sides, the biggest side is the QR, that is, this is my hypotenuse. And if I take the value of hypotenuse, I can clearly see that the other two sides are basically the sum of this. So I can write the Pythagoras theorem as this: QR whole square is equals to PR square plus PQ square, which is the proving Pythagoras theorem, because this is the hypotenuse, this is the perpendicular, and this is the base. So this relation is true. This means this triangle is a right angle triangle. So I have shown it through my working, and the three sides, the three lengths of the three sides are basically following the Pythagoras theorem. So this is basically a right angle triangle. Moving on to the next part, in which I have to find the perpendicular distance from P to QR. So what will I do first? I will just find the area of the triangle first, since I know the base and the height. So I will be using the area formula. The area of the triangle is basically half into base multiplied by height. And I can see that if I am taking PQ as the base, PR will be the height of the triangle. I know that the base and the height are perpendicular to each other. So I can take PQ as the base and QR as the height. I can also take PR as the base and PQ as the height. Both will give me the same answer. So I am going with PQ as my base. So PR will automatically be the height of the triangle. PQ is basically starting from 1 and going to 4. So there is a difference of 3. So the length of PQ is basically 3. And PR is basically starting from 3 and ending to 8. So 8 minus 3 is 5. So the length of PR is 5. So half into 3 into 5 will give me the area of the triangle, that is 7.5 units square. By finding the area of the triangle, I will be able to find this perpendicular height from P to QR, which is basically the height of the triangle if I'm taking QR as my base. If I'm taking QR as my base, this perpendicular distance from P to QR will be the height of the triangle. So I will be using this concept to find the area of the triangle. Perpendicular from P to QR, so I will use this area. The area of the triangle is 7.5. Area is equals to half into base. If I am taking this as the height of the triangle, so QR will be the base of the triangle. So I will write QR as the base, multiply by the height which I have to find out. And area 7.5, this 2 is being divided. When it will go on the other side, it will be multiplied. And the length of QR is basically QR square is 34. So the length of QR will be square root of 34. And by using the calculator, I can find the length of the perpendicular from P to QR, which is equals to 2.57 units.